Hello and welcome to the call webinar. This is Andy Morbitzer with Vizionary. Thank you for spending some time with us here today. Today we're going to really go over the visionary opportunity. We got a special guest tonight, a gal that I've been blessed to have in my life for the last 4 years. You always hear the old adage, for every successful man, there's a woman behind the scenes that made it happen. Well, this is the lady that makes it happen, that runs all the components, the emails, the copywriting, the marketing, an award-winning marketer at that. Experienced, talented, been self-employed. She owns her own business, plus many other attributes that just make her invaluable to the whole platform. I don't know what I would do without her. I'm not technically sound, let's put it that way. So for all of you that are in any Skype chats, Facebook chats, VIP visionary rooms, anything that you see really on the websites, copywriting, all that kind of stuff is from really one person, an exceptional person that makes it all happen behind the scenes, and that's Nicole Peterson. So I'd like to introduce her tonight, or actually this afternoon, or I guess it's tonight in Europe. And she also started a group here, the leading ladies of Visionary. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they just spearheaded that and got some ladies from around the world, and we've got one that looks like that might qualify for Spain, the promotion that we're doing here for the next week here or so. Mm-hmm. So it's my pleasure to introduce my partner and the gal behind the scene that makes it all happen, an award-winning marketer, Nicole Peterson. So have at it, honey. It's all yours.
Thank you so much. That was very sweet, and I appreciate it. And as all of you know, Andy Morbitzer, we make a good pair because I'm probably one of the more creative sides and aspects of that, and Andy's the brains and the numbers behind everything else, and not to mention extraordinary salesmanship as well, as you all know. So thank you, Andy, and you're welcome to pipe in whenever you want. So
thank you.
I want to introduce, we're going to have a preview of, I'm actually putting together some corporate presentation slides, and we're going to be previewing those tonight. They're not completely done, but they're done enough that we wanted to give you a sneak peek of what the corporate presentations will look like in the future moving forward. So welcome to tonight to a Visionary and an introduction of Visionary and Capriccoin. So Capriccoin is really a new global currency that we're introducing, and it's an instant digital payment solution. So what we're going to discuss tonight in tonight's presentation is a little bit of background on cryptocurrency as well as Capriccoin, and we'll introduce you to Visionary, which is the distribution arm for Capriccoin, and how to profit and how to become a member with Visionary. So a little bit of background. As you all know, there's obviously an evolution of money, and that happened. And we started off with commodity money, where people would barter for goods and services. And if you wanted coffee beans, for example, you trade a pig. That's how people were actually surviving back in the day. Then we switched to metallic money and coins. And we're all very familiar with paper money, still very current today. And credit cards, the famous credit cards. How can we get away with surviving without going into debt? And now I think the next evolution of currency is really going to be digital currency. And it's kind of like having a form of credit card on your smartphone. You're going to see that Visionary is really combining 3 megatrends, which is not only digital currency, but e-commerce as well as smartphones, which really is the way of the future. I'm sure you see people on their smartphones everywhere and anywhere that you go these days. Grocery markets, restaurants, they're all on their phones. So a little bit of background on cryptocurrency and what it is. And this is really very simple. And to break it down in its most simplistic terms, it's money that's not created by the banks. All those paper bills we have a serial number on them. So you throw that paper away, And all you've got is that serial number, and that's digital currency. It's a series of numbers with no paper. And I can't break it down any simpler than that. So with Vizionary, it's a process that's called mining. And it's a special software that creates the coins, which is the Capriccoins for us. And each coin has its own unique number, very much similar to that serial number. And what Vizionary is doing is selling mining time as a product. And when you hear mining, all that is that's what's creating the Capriccoins. So I really think cryptocurrencies, and it's been explained in many forums and stated that might be the most important invention since at least the internet. I've heard it referred to as the dot-com boom number 2, but it's also going to provide a solution to commerce, governmental regulations, as well as transaction fees. There is no single person, organization, or government in charge, and it's without a doubt a peer-to-peer electronic cash. It's not pegged to any dollar or any currency, and it's something that you could see as an asset outside of your home country. And it provides a certain level of protection and security for us with financial survival. So there's only going to be 200 million Capriccoins mined, so it's a fixed money supply. We can't just, continue to print dollars like many of the governments have whenever the U.S. government, whenever they run out, they just seem to print more. And timing, right now, Capriccoin is currently pennies on the dollar. So how do you get Capriccoin? Well, you need to purchase the mining time, which is done through Vizionary, and it's 100% automated. You also receive online education about cryptocurrencies so that if you don't know very much about it, and to be honest, I didn't know very much about it either. I started learning about it 4 months ago. But you know what? I tell you, the more I read and the more I learn, the more addicted. It's a little bit of an addiction become. I can really see how internet money can work. But why would you want to collect Capriccoin? Let's talk about some of those reasons. Bitcoin was the first cryptocurrency back in 2009. There's currently more than 600 of them.
Actually, there's about 2,500 of them.
Is there?
Of which only about 100 truly have a value. Anybody can create their own coin if they know what they're doing. But to give it value, then that changes the circumstances. So viable coins out there, there have been, I think I read 5,300 coins, and half of which no longer exist from the inception in 2009 to date. And if you look at cryptocurrencies now, I believe, there's probably 1,500 of them on exchanges, but they have no value. They're kind of arbitrary in nature. They have no volume. You can't spend them anywhere. They're just, I don't quite understand the whole function of why they're even there. But nevertheless, the top 100 are what's driving the market, are what is allowing people to move money seamlessly across the world with all the benefits to the end user. So it's a viable solution, and it's like it said earlier in the slide, it is the evolution of banking. Know that debt and money is money in its simplistic form is debt that banks have lent out. If there was no cash in the world, there'd be no debt in the world. Cash is actually debt. Understand it's monetary supplies, it's expansion, it's how banks make money. It continues to supply the giant Ponzi scheme that we've come to all operate under unknowingly, thinking, okay, we're subject to third-party fees, ATM fees, conversion fees, cross-border fees. Feed, and we've become accustomed to these fees. And now, 21st century, technology is allowing we the people to take the ability to move money, exchange goods and services amongst ourselves without central authority. And that's a win-win situation all the way around the world.
I completely agree. So I don't know if you guys know this, but Bitcoin's already accepted by more than 300,000 companies worldwide. Companies like Dell, Overstock, PayPal, these are well-known companies, Expedia Travel, 7-Eleven, Richard Branson's Virgin Atlantic company, TigerDirect.com. they're all accepting Bitcoin as payment.
And I'd like to add just a little bit. And why is that important? We're not selling Bitcoin. We're not mining for Bitcoin. So why do we talk so much about Bitcoin? Because first of all, it's the one that started the whole process. It's given every other cryptocurrency the inroads to touch markets that we would have never conceived of. But understand the future will be this. I look at a future of cryptocurrencies where you'll have the ability to work collectively in the cryptocurrency world, where one coin may be accepted, or another coin, or a Litecoin, Darkcoin, Bitcoin, Capriccoin. I think as time passes, you'll be able to exchange into from one coin to another coin to ultimately fiat currencies, and then back again, where we'll have the ability to move money electronically through cryptocurrency in a lot of different currencies. So the inroads that Bitcoin has paved, I look at it as in the near future, Capriccoin, as easy as Capriccoin could be exchanged for Bitcoin, for example. So now Capriccoin, and the way I look at it, is now Capriccoin is accepted at 300,000 different locations. It is the recognition, it's the branding, it's the acceptance, it's the general public's adoption and knowledge of cryptocurrency. And guys, it's coming. Look around at what's going on, from smartphones to books to Macs to tablets to iPad phones, whatever you got, it rules the world. And when your product is the number one product in the world as far as volume, and that's money, we put people in the best possible position to be successful, not only with the coin, but also with our Vizionary platform. So understand, when we look at this, this is a huge market. We're just getting started. Think of it this way. What if you could have been one of the very first people that started Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, all these different payment solutions company? You'd be a millionaire easily. Now think of it as, okay, a new era begins. We are on the precipice of the biggest movement in money and maybe, well, at least hundreds of years, where we went from coin metallic to paper. This is just the evolution of banking. And to think that it's not happening, it's happening right underneath your nose every single day. And we heard, we had somebody in the downline where, not only Greece, the people of Greece are struggling to get their monies out of the ATMs and those types of things. Who was the very first presence, with boots on the grounds, physical locations where you could go get money out? Bitcoin. See how it's becoming branded? See how it's becoming accepted? When you start overcoming hurdles like capital controls that the bank had, limiting how much of your own money you could take out of their machines, and they see an alternative option like a Bitcoin, and they can pull their money out of there, now you have somebody's attention. Now you have a captive audience. Now you have a market, an $80 trillion market. If you're not excited about this, I don't know what would get you excited, because, geez, it doesn't get any better than this. So I'm done with my rant for now, but golly.
Yeah, and people are looking for other ways to survive, and because they can't survive off of 60 euros that they can take out of the bank every day.
Well, and share with them what Ian said. Ian is a member here of Vizionary that's a good friend of mine from the UK, that he said he was in London.
He's in London, yeah.
And tell him what happened. Evidently in London, now I don't know what specific bank or what entity.
It was Barclays.
Barclays Bank limited withdrawals on ATM. And Barclays is one of the biggest banks in the world.
Yeah.
So it's happening all around, guys. If you don't have plan B, if you don't have assets in a different country, a different form, outside of central authority, you're going to fall. You're going to have to abide by whatever rules they put out. This gives you an option to have assets that you control at your disposal around the world at all times.
Yeah. It's diversification, in case you need. But we're also making Capriccoin so that it will be easily go mainstream.
The people's coin.
Be able to use it for purchasing everyday goods and services as well, which is exciting. Nobody else is doing this, guys. So it is like having a credit card or a bank account on your cell phone. Many of you probably have your bank mobile app on your smartphone already. And this is just another bank account on your smartphone. So no company was really, it wasn't being accepted as payment when it first came out in 2009. But when it was accepted by those companies, the value increased, right away. So Andy and I have a friend by the name of Gary, and he actually was telling us a story that he had purchased, I think it was about 1,000 Bitcoins for $50, right back in 2009 or 2010, right in the early days of Bitcoin. And he had bought it for his daughter. She wanted to purchase an avatar for a video game. And he didn't know, if he had only known back then what he knew today, that it would dramatically increase in value. He claims he would never have spent it on his daughter's video game.
Or at least paid with it in a different way.
So where is Capriccoin's value going to go? Could Capriccoin increase in value similar to Bitcoin? Well, that's what it's been created to do. We can't make any promises, and it's not an investment, but Capriccoin has been designed to increase in value. So how is that? We're providing a true supply and demand trading platform. It's better technology. It's a second generation coin. Bitcoin was first generation. They had their flaws, and we've been able to learn from those flaws and create a better coin, essentially with instant payment. With Bitcoin, there's large processing times or transaction times. So it's hard for a merchant to accept Bitcoin when they don't know if that money is going to be approved. It may take up to 3 hours for it to be approved. So Capriccoin will be instant. Capriccoin is a legitimate cryptocurrency. We're actually available currently on 2 public exchanges. 2 of them you may know of, Bittrex.com and BlueTrade.com. It's attractive for customers, and we've got a loyalty program for companies, which I'm going to get into. We're the world's first MLM on the exchanges with our own blockchain cryptocurrency. So how is it going to appeal to customers? Why is it attractive to customers? Well, we've coined the phrase, the people's coin, pun intended, but it's going to be really easy to use right on your smartphone. We're going to have a Capriccoin wallet. It's going to be peer-to-peer, secure, instant transactions, 0 transaction fees. I think this is one of the biggest appeals for cryptocurrencies. I think we're all sick of paying, as Andy said before, all the ATM fees and the banking fees and wire transaction fees. So there's no limits on how much or how little to send money. This is a key benefit, guys. Even for charity, and I say how much or how little, you could send huge amounts of money overseas if you had to, if it was for international business or even as a customer. But what about maybe charities? Often when you want to send some money to a charity, if it's only $25 that you want to send, you don't want to pay processing fees on a $25 because sometimes they can be, as much as the money that you're sending. I know that back in, I don't know if you guys remember the earthquake that happened in Haiti in 2010. The Red Cross, they had this great campaign where you could text $1 to help people out. And the one thing that really stood out about this was that it was the first time that the companies had waived their processing fees. So the most amount of money was generated from that. I think it was like $7 million. That's never been done before. And it was because of the transaction fees were waived. People knew that if they sent $1, a full dollar was going to that charity. But, you don't want to just send $1 if you're going to pay a 30-cent transaction fee and only 70% of your money is going to, your charity. So this is going to be instant transactions, and that's worldwide. We're going to have cash back and discounts included within the loyalty program. Well, that's attractive to customers. Everybody wants and enjoys cash back these days. So I bet you that your bank will never offer you the same deal. So how is it attractive for companies? The loyalty program is going to be completely free of charge. There's no setup fees or monthly fees to the merchant. There's an easy download for the app. There's no risk because there's no fees. They can accept Capriccoin in their local currency and instant verification of payment. So there is really, truly no risk. They attract a new clientele, a clientele that is involved in the cryptocurrency market. There's no chargebacks, there's no fraud, no payment processing fees. They get a marketing tool free of charge so they can actually be able to communicate with their customers and market to them as well. And they'll make money from Capriccoin customers. So let's talk about Vizionary and who is behind Vizionary. We've got Frodeberg from Norway, he's our founder. Ladislav Pastor from Slovakia, co-founder. Andy Morbitzer, who we all know and love from USA, who's our global master distributor. Jesper Benson from Denmark, who's the co-owner, and he's on the advisory board as well. And then we've got, this is Tahir Ali he's the CEO of Top Sites, which is our software company, building all this fabulous technology and apps for us. So let's get to the crux of it all. We all want to know how we can make money with Capriccoin. There's actually 10 ways you can make money with Vizionary, but there's 4 ways without sponsoring. So obviously there's with Capriccoin, you can make money with the product itself as it increases in value, through buying and selling of the mining units on our trading platform. There's a retail platform, and then obviously members also earn free mining time, which also equates to free Capriccoins. You can earn 6 ways if you choose to share Vizionary with others and build a business. We have a direct sales commission that's anywhere from 10 to 15%. And then there's the binary network team commission. And it's anywhere from 40 euros to 80 euros per cycle, up to 32,000 euros per week. There's a matching bonus, which is 5 to 10%. And it's 5 generations, or you can even qualify to infinity. We have a momentum bonus, which is kind of like a fast start bonus. And there's a customer bonus that's going to be coming out soon. And we obviously have the Capriccoin loyalty program as well. So you may ask, what makes us different? There's a few companies that are coming out on the market with cryptocurrencies in the networking industry. We're one of the first to be on our own exchange with a blockchain cryptocurrency. We've got second generation cryptocurrency, instant payment. No one has the technology nor the strategy Capriccoin offers, guys. We're creating solutions for you to pay with Capriccoin anywhere you want in the world. This value is based off of true supply and demand, so no speculative trading. We've got great earnings potential, very low mining price, and free mining time for members. So what are our packages? There's 5 ways to get started with Vizionary. There's a retail package that's through Capriccoin.biz, and it gives you 1 mining slot in the weekly Capriccoin pool, and it's valued at 25 euros. It hasn't launched just yet. That should probably be coming out in the fall of this year. Currently, the way to get started is to become a Vizionary member, and now you can mine for your Capriccoin on our wholesale trading platform. So we have 4 packages. One's the bronze, and all of these packages include your education program as well. The bronze gives you 2 mining slots per week, but that's about it. You get the 2 mining slots per the week, and then you'd either want to probably upgrade to receive more mining time. Silver gives you 8 mining slots per week. Gold gives you 24. And platinum gives you 80 mining slots per week. So the great thing is we can actually pay with credit cards and debit cards on this completely 100% automated trading platform. So we've got a number of ways for you to actually make your payments. So credit cards, debit cards, and actually we're even accepting Bitcoin now as well, or wire transfers. So whichever way you like. So why would you want to get started now? Well, as each week goes on, since we've got a fixed supply of Capriccoins, and there's a number of coins that are attributed or allotted for each week, as more members join Visionary, the number of coins per slot decreases every week. So it's a great time to get started today and start being part of this week's mining pool. Capriccoin is pennies on the dollar right now. We're going to make it really simple for people to use cryptocurrencies in their everyday lives. The sooner you start, the more Capriccoins you're going to own in your Capriccoin wallet. It's an $80 trillion market. It's bigger than all MLM companies combined right now. And that's exciting, guys. We've got a big market we can target. So think about, what's the legacy you'll leave behind? If you get started, we've got tons of support. We've got 3 Facebook groups. One you can even search right now publicly, just for Visionary. It's a great group where we just have information, or you can ask questions to members, and they will, get your questions answered. We do have a members only group, and I've just started this Ladies of Vision group. So all the female cryptocurrency ladies creating a support group, and it's tons of fun, actually. We're very supportive in that group. It's nice to see. We've also got a members only Skype group. So here's some websites that you can go to and look at for more information as well. We've got the corporate site, which is visionary with a Z.com. And then there's some information sites at visionaryabc.com. And then a great website to check out as well is obviously capriccoin.com. So you register today at 97 euros, or you can upgrade to one of the higher packages, depending on how much you want to mine and how much Capriccoin you want to have in your wallet. When you do decide to upgrade, it will only cost you the difference. So the more you pay, the higher packages, the more mining time you receive, which obviously equals more Capriccoin. You can expect your Capriccoin to increase in value. It's designed to recommend Visionary to others, build a business. Well, that's it, guys. I think, in summary, I think it's quite possible that cryptocurrencies will take over, much of the world's financial system. I think it's going to change a lot of the way that people move money, how they hold money, how they even perceive value with money, but what their relationships are with merchants and with each other as well. We've got some great things to look forward to, and it's definitely a changing industry, and we're so excited to be a part of this. As I say, it does become a little bit of an addiction after a while. It's very exciting, and it's a new era when we're moving into, with Capriccoin, it has the technology to serve what the market needs and really what the market is demanding right now too. So it's a cryptocurrency, it's safe, it's reliable, and it can be transferred into a fiat currency at any POS instantly for everyday transactions. So we hope to see you in the Facebook group soon, in our Skype group. And if you ever have any questions, those are the places to ask. Get back in touch with the person who shared this presentation with you, and get started today, and welcome aboard. Signing off with Andy Morbitzer and Nicole Peterson. Have a great evening.